Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Roy English Talk. Imagine being able to express yourself in English with the same confidence as a native speaker. In this masterclass, you're not just learning words, you're learning how to use them powerfully. Today, I'll take you through advanced vocabulary that will boost your conversations, your career, and your confidence. By the end of this lesson, you won't just know these words. You'll use them naturally. Ready to transform your English? Let's begin our Advanced English Vocabulary Masterclass. Why advanced vocabulary matters. Think about the most impressive speakers you know. Maybe it's a leader, a teacher, a business professional, or even an actor. What makes them sound so powerful? It's not just their accent or confidence, it's their vocabulary. Words are tools. And the better your tools, the more clearly and effectively you can express your ideas. When you use only basic vocabulary, your English feels flat and limited. But when you add advanced vocabulary, suddenly your sentences come alive. Instead of saying very big, you can say enormous. Instead of saying very important, you can say crucial. Instead of saying very smart, you can say brilliant. Each stronger word carries more weight, and people pay closer attention to what you say. Why does this matter? Because in the real world, whether you're applying for a job, giving a presentation, or simply making friends, words shape how people see you. Using advanced vocabulary makes you sound more professional, more educated, and more confident. Let's take an example. Imagine you're in a job interview, and the interviewer asks, "Tell me about a challenge you faced at work." If you reply with simple words, you might say, "It was very hard, but I worked hard and solved it." That answer is okay, but it's not memorable. Now imagine if you say, "It was a challenging situation, but I remained resilient. I analyzed the problem carefully, and I implemented a solution that improved our process significantly." Which answer sounds more impressive? The second one, of course. And the difference comes from vocabulary. Here's another quick example. If you want to describe someone, you could say, "She is very nice." That's fine, but it's vague. Instead, you could say, "She is compassionate, thoughtful, and empathetic." These words paint a much clearer picture of the person's character. Advanced vocabulary doesn't mean using complicated or confusing words that no one understands. In fact, that can backfire. The real goal is to use precise, powerful words that fit naturally into your speech. Think of vocabulary like colors. If you only have the basic colors, red, blue, yellow, you can still paint a picture. But if you have a full set of shades and tones, your painting becomes richer, more detailed, and more beautiful. The same is true for English. Another reason vocabulary matters is confidence. Many English learners hesitate to speak, not because they don't know grammar, but because they can't find the right words. The frustration of knowing what you want to say but not being able to say it can be discouraging. But once you expand your vocabulary, you'll notice that conversations become smoother. You'll feel more in control, and that confidence will show. Let's talk about writing. Advanced vocabulary transforms your writing from ordinary to outstanding. Imagine writing an essay, an email, or even a social media post. If you use only basic words, your message may sound plain. But with advanced vocabulary, you can persuade, inspire, and engage your readers. For example, instead of writing, "I think this idea is good," you could write, "I believe this idea is innovative and impactful." The second sentence sounds more professional, more convincing, and more memorable. There's also a cultural benefit. Many advanced words carry subtle shades of meaning that reflect how native speakers think and communicate. Learning these words helps you understand not just the language, but also the culture behind it. For example, the word resilient doesn't just mean strong. It carries the idea of bouncing back after challenges. a value deeply appreciated in American culture. Now, you might be wondering, if vocabulary is so important, why don't most learners focus on it? The truth is, many students focus too much on grammar or pronunciation. Those are important, yes, but vocabulary is the foundation. Without words, grammar has nothing to connect. Vocabulary is what gives you the ability to communicate ideas, emotions, and experiences. Here's something interesting. Research shows that people with a stronger vocabulary are often seen as more intelligent. It's not necessarily because they are smarter, but because words create an impression. When you use advanced words correctly, people assume you have advanced knowledge. And in many ways, that assumption becomes reality, because the more words you know, the more ideas you can understand and share. Let me share a quick story. A student of mine once said in class, "My boss is very angry." That was true, but it didn't capture the situation fully. I encouraged him to use words like frustrated, irritated, or even furious. "The next time," he said, "my boss was furious after the mistake, but I remained calm and explained the solution." Suddenly, his story sounded more vivid and professional. That one word, furious, changed the impact of his sentence. But let me be clear, advanced vocabulary is not about showing off. It's not about sounding fancy. It's about being precise, powerful, and persuasive. If you want to succeed in academics, in business, in relationships, and in life, mastering vocabulary will give you an edge. So in this masterclass, I'll teach you advanced words in categories: academic words, business words, everyday conversation words, descriptive words, persuasive words, idioms, and more. Each section will give you not just definitions, but also examples, context, and practice. By the end, you'll not only know the words, you'll be able to use them naturally. And here's a quick challenge for you. Right now, instead of saying very good, try using words like excellent, outstanding, or exceptional. The next time someone asks how you're doing, instead of just saying fine, try saying, "I'm doing great," or "I'm feeling wonderful." Small changes like these build your confidence and transform your English step by step. So let's make this mindset shift together. Stop thinking of vocabulary as just extra words. Think of it as your personal power bank. The more words you store, the more power you have to influence, connect, and succeed. That's why advanced vocabulary matters. It's not just about language, it's about your life. Academic and professional words. When you study at a university, attend conferences, or work in professional environments, the language you hear is different from casual conversations. Academic and professional English uses words that are precise, formal, and often more advanced. Mastering these words will make you sound more credible and respected in academic papers, job interviews, and business discussions. Let's start with some essential academic and professional words you can use right away. Analyze. This means to study something in detail, to break it down into smaller parts in order to understand it better. Example: in my essay, I will analyze the effects of climate change on agriculture. Synthesize. This means to combine different ideas or pieces of information to create something new. Example: the report synthesizes data from multiple studies to reach a conclusion. Evaluate. To judge or assess something carefully. Example: the teacher asked us to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the proposal. Notice how these words, analyze, synthesize, evaluate, sound more professional than simply saying look at, combine, or judge. Now let's move into professional vocabulary often used in business and the workplace. Implement. To put a plan or decision into action. Example: Our company implemented a new training program for employees. Facilitate, to make a process easier or smoother. Our example: the manager facilitated communication between the two departments. Optimize, to make something as effective or efficient as possible. Example: we optimized the website to improve customer experience. These words are extremely common in offices, presentations, and meetings. If you want to sound confident at work, start using them instead of simple alternatives. Here's a quick comparison. Instead of saying, "We started a new program," say, "We implemented a new program." "We helped the discussion." Say, "We facilitated the discussion." "We made the process better." Say, "We optimized the process." See how each advanced word adds professionalism and authority to your sentence? Now let's expand with some powerful academic words that often appear in research, essays, and formal writing. Substantiate, to provide evidence or proof for something. Example: the author substantiated his argument with recent research findings. Ought. Articulate, to express something clearly and effectively. Example: she articulated her opinion during the debate with great confidence. Demonstrate, to show or prove something clearly. Example: the experiment demonstrates the relationship between sleep and productivity. When you use words like substantiate, articulate, and demonstrate, your writing and speaking become more precise and persuasive. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you're giving a presentation about a project. You could say, "Our data shows that the new strategy works." That's fine. But now try, "Our data demonstrates the effectiveness of the new strategy, and the results substantiate our recommendations." This version sounds much more professional, right? And the difference is simply in vocabulary. Now let's learn some advanced transition words. These are especially useful in essays, reports, and formal communication. Consequently, as a result. Example: the company did not adapt to market changes. Consequently, its sales decreased. Furthermore, in addition, also. Example: the new system is efficient. Furthermore, it reduces costs. Nevertheless, despite something, however. Example: the project faced challenges. Nevertheless, it was completed on time. Using these connectors shows a higher level of fluency because you're linking ideas smoothly, just like native speakers do. Here's a quick mini exercise for you. Take this basic sentence: I was tired, but I worked hard. Now upgrade it with advanced transitions. I was exhausted. Nevertheless, I persevered and completed the task. Which one sounds stronger? The second one, of course. Let's add 3 more high-value words you'll hear often in both academic and professional life. Comprehensive, complete and covering all details. Example: the professor gave a comprehensive explanation of the topic. Mitigate, to reduce the negative impact of something. Our example: the government introduced measures to mitigate climate risks. Evident, clear and easy to see. Example: it is evident that technology is changing the way we communicate. Notice how each of these words gives your speech or writing more weight. Now, let's add 3 bonus words that often appear in professional communication. 6. Pertinent, relevant, and directly related. Example: please include only pertinent details in your report. Concur, to agree with someone. Example: I concur with your assessment of the project's risks. Me. Emphasize, to highlight or stress something as important. Example: the teacher emphasized the importance of daily practice. These are especially powerful in meetings. essays and debates because they help you stay precise and persuasive. Now let's do a short storytelling example. Imagine you're in a university debate. You could say, "The evidence shows that exercise is good for health." Or you could say, "The evidence substantiates the claim that regular exercise significantly mitigates health risks, and the data demonstrates its comprehensive benefits for both body and mind." The second version sounds like something a confident speaker or academic would say. That's the power of advanced vocabulary. Here's a quick challenge for you. Replace the basic words in this sentence with advanced ones. The study looked at the problem and gave very clear results. Your upgrade could be, "The study analyzed the issue and articulated comprehensive results that were evident to all." Did you notice how much more powerful that sounds? Before we wrap up this section, remember this. Using academic and professional vocabulary is not about memorizing long lists of words. It's about understanding when and how to use them naturally. My advice? Practice by replacing simple words with advanced ones in your daily writing or speaking. Start small, and over time, it will become natural. So let's quickly recap the 18 words we learned in this section. Analyze, synthesize, evaluate, implement, facilitate, optimize, substantiate, articulate, demonstrate, consequently, furthermore, nevertheless, comprehensive, mitigate, evident, pertinent, concur, and emphasize. If you can master these words and use them naturally, your English will immediately sound more professional, more academic, and more confident. Business and workplace vocabulary. In the workplace, the way you communicate can make or break your career. It's not only about what you say, but how you say it. Using advanced vocabulary at work helps you sound professional, persuasive, and confident. Whether you're in meetings, writing emails, or giving presentations, strong word choices can help you stand out. Let's start with some essential workplace vocabulary. Delegated, to assign responsibility to someone else. Example, the manager delegated the task to the most qualified team member. Prioritize, to decide what tasks are most important and do them first. Example, we need to prioritize customer satisfaction over minor details. Deadline, the time or date when something must be finished. Example, we must meet the deadline for the client proposal. These 3 words alone, delegate, prioritize, deadline, will instantly make you sound more professional in meetings. Now, let's move into business strategy vocabulary. Leverage, to use something to your advantage. Our example, the company leveraged new technology to expand its market share. Streamline, to make a process simpler and more efficient. As example, we streamlined our hiring process to save time. Allocate, to distribute resources or responsibilities. Example, the budget was allocated to different departments. Now compare these to simpler words. Instead of use, say leverage. Instead of make easier, say streamline. Instead of give out, say allocate. Can you hear how much stronger the second options sound? Next, let's focus on negotiation and problem-solving vocabulary. Consensus, general agreement among a group. Example, after hours of discussion, the team finally reached a consensus. Viable, practical, and possible to achieve. As example, we need to find a viable solution to this issue. Resolve, to settle a conflict or problem. Example, the manager resolved the dispute between 2 employees. Notice how these words not only sound professional but also carry authority. Now let's move into words that show leadership and initiative. Proactive, Taking action before problems happen. Example, she is proactive in finding solutions before issues arise. Initiative, the ability to take action without being told. So, example, he showed great initiative by proposing a new project plan. Accountability, responsibility for actions and results. Example, leaders must take accountability for their decisions. In any workplace, being described as proactive, having initiative, and taking accountability will make you stand out as a strong professional. Now, let's focus on communication in the workplace. Clarify, to make something clear and easy to understand. Our example, could you clarify the details of this agreement? 14. Concise, expressing information in few, clear words. Example, please keep your email concise and professional. 15. Persuade, to convince someone to do or believe something. Our example, she persuaded the client to extend the contract. If you can master these communication words, your writing and speaking will improve instantly. Now let's do a short storytelling exercise. Imagine this, you're writing to your boss. You could say, I used the new tool, and it helped us finish faster. Or you could say, I leveraged the new tool to streamline our process, allowing us to meet the deadline efficiently. Which version sounds more professional? Definitely the second one. Finally, let's add 3 bonus business words. Innovative, introducing new ideas or methods. As example, the company is known for its innovative approach to marketing. Sustainable, able to continue over time without problems. Example, we need a sustainable business model for long-term growth. Scalability, the ability to grow and handle more work or customers. Example, the startup focused on building a scalable product. These 3 words are used constantly in business reports, presentations, and pitches. Here's a quick challenge for you. Take this simple sentence. We made a good plan that can grow in the future. Now upgrade it. We developed an innovative and sustainable plan with strong scalability for future growth. Can you feel the difference? That's the power of advanced vocabulary. Before we close this section, let me remind you, business vocabulary is not about sounding complicated. It's about sounding confident and professional. If you practice these words daily, whether in meetings, emails, or presentations, you'll quickly build a reputation as someone who communicates with authority. So let's recap the 18 workplace words we learned. Delegated, prioritize, deadline, leverage, streamline, allocate, consensus, viable, resolve, proactive, initiative, accountability, clarify, concise, persuade, innovative, sustainable, and scalability. Mastering these words will help you succeed in any workplace, whether you're in the U.S. or anywhere in the world. Remember, in business, words are your currency, and advanced words are the most valuable currency you can have. Everyday conversation vocabulary. Mastering English for everyday conversation is not just about grammar and pronunciation. It's about choosing the right words to make your speech sound natural, fluent, and impressive. The difference between a beginner speaker and an advanced speaker often lies in vocabulary choice. Let's upgrade your everyday English with words that are powerful, yet easy to use. Emotions and attitudes. Enthusiastic, very excited and interested. Example, she was enthusiastic about starting her new job. Try this. Instead of saying, I'm happy to learn English, say, I'm enthusiastic about learning English every day. Reluctant, not wanting to do something. An example, he was reluctant to try the new food. This sounds much better than simply saying I didn't want to. Grateful, feeling thankful. Example: I'm truly grateful for your help yesterday. Being able to express gratitude clearly will always make your conversations warmer. Mini practice. Imagine someone gives you advice. Instead of just saying thanks, say, I'm grateful for your advice. It really helped me. Talking about experiences. Memorable. Something worth remembering. Example: that vacation was one of the most memorable trips of my life. Challenging. Something difficult but interesting. Example: learning English has been challenging but very rewarding. Overwhelming. Very strong or hard to handle. Example: the amount of work was overwhelming at first. With these words, you can turn boring descriptions like it was hard into something much more engaging. It was challenging but memorable. Practice. Try describing yesterday. Instead of saying, my day was good but busy, try, yesterday was memorable and a little overwhelming, but I handled it well. Casual daily talk. Curious, wanting to know or learn something. Odd example: I'm curious about your new project. Impressed, admiring someone or something. Example: I was impressed by his presentation. Frustrated, feeling upset because something isn't working. Example: she was frustrated with the long delays. These are much better than saying I wanted to know, it was good, or I was angry. Mini dialogue. A. Did you like the film? B. Yes, I was impressed by the acting, but a little frustrated with the ending. See how natural that sounds? Building relationships 10. Sincere, honest, and genuine. Example: I want to give you my sincere congratulations. Supportive, helpful, and encouraging. Example: my friends have always been supportive of my goals. Polite, showing respect and good manners. Our example: he was polite to everyone at the dinner party. These words help you connect with others and build strong relationships. Saying someone is sincere or supportive communicates much more than simple words like nice. Try this. Instead of saying, she's nice, try she's supportive and sincere. Expressing opinions 13. Convincing, easy to believe. Example: her argument was very convincing. Reasonable, fair, and sensible. Odd example: that sounds like a reasonable suggestion. Or fascinating, very interesting. Example: I find astronomy absolutely fascinating. These words instantly make your conversations more engaging. Instead of saying, that's okay, say, that's reasonable. Instead of saying, it's interesting, say, it's fascinating. Challenge: think of a topic you like. Instead of saying, it's interesting, say, it's fascinating because. Bonus words for daily life 16. Versatile, able to do many things. Example: he is a versatile musician who plays 5 instruments. 7. Reliable, someone you can trust. What example: she is a reliable friend who always keeps her promises. Ambitious, having strong goals and determination. Example: he is ambitious and wants to become a successful entrepreneur. These 3 words are especially useful when talking about people. Instead of just saying, he's good, you can say, he's reliable and ambitious. Storytelling example. Let's see how these words transform a conversation. Basic version: my friend is good. My day was nice and the meeting was okay. Advanced version: my friend is reliable. My day was memorable, and the meeting was fascinating. The second version is instantly richer, more colorful, and much more engaging. Quick upgrade challenge: take this sentence. I don't want to go, but the idea's okay. Now upgrade it. I'm reluctant to go, but the idea seems reasonable. See how natural and advanced it sounds? So let's recap the 18 words we learned. Enthusiastic, reluctant, grateful, memorable, challenging, overwhelming, curious, impressed, frustrated, sincere, supportive, polite, convincing, reasonable, fascinating, versatile, reliable, and ambitious. These words are simple enough to use daily, yet advanced enough to impress native speakers. If you start practicing them every day, your conversations will instantly sound more natural, fluent, and confident. And most importantly, you'll enjoy speaking English even more. Cultural and emotional vocabulary. Language isn't just about grammar, it's about expressing emotions and understanding culture. When you can describe feelings and cultural experiences with precision, you connect with people on a deeper level. In this section, let's upgrade your English with advanced cultural and emotional vocabulary. Expressing emotions clearly. Compassionate, showing kindness and care for others. As example, she is a compassionate teacher who supports her students even outside the classroom. Dialogue. A. Why do people admire her so much? B. Because she's compassionate. She really cares about others. Nostalgic, feeling sentimental about the past. Example. Hearing that song made me nostalgic about my childhood summers. Resilient, able to recover quickly from difficulties. Good example. After losing his job, he stayed resilient and started a new business. Practice. Think about your own life. Can you describe yourself as compassionate, nostalgic, or resilient in a sentence? Cultural experiences. Diverse, showing variety. Different. An example. Toronto is a diverse city with people from over 100 cultures. Traditional, based on customs or culture. Example. They wore traditional clothing for the wedding ceremony. Globalized, connected with the world, international. Example. In today's globalized society, cultures mix more than ever before. Dialogue. Example. A. How was your trip to New York? B. Amazing. It's so diverse, and even though it's globalized, you can still see traditional cultures everywhere. Deeper emotional words. Empathetic, understanding another person's feelings. Example, a good leader must be empathetic and listen to their team. Vulnerable, open to emotional pain or difficulty. Example, she felt vulnerable sharing her personal story online. You're gay. Content, calmly satisfied, at peace. Example, he didn't have much money, but he felt content with his simple life. Practice, replace basic words. Instead of I'm okay, try I feel content today. Instead of he's weak, try he felt vulnerable at that moment. Describing people's character. 10. Open-minded. Willing to accept new ideas or opinions. Example, traveling abroad makes people more open-minded. Respectful, showing honor and politeness. Example, he is respectful of other cultures and traditions. Admirable, worthy of respect. Example, her dedication to helping others is truly admirable. Challenge, think of one person you admire. Can you describe them using these 3 words? Powerful cultural vocabulary. Heritage. Cultural traditions passed down through generations. Example, the museum preserves the heritage of indigenous communities. Unity, being together or joined as one. Example, music festivals create a sense of unity among people. Identity. The qualities that make a person or culture unique. Example, language plays a big role in cultural identity. Dialogue. Example: A. Why is heritage so important? B. Because it shapes our identity and helps build unity in society. Bonus emotional words. Inspirational, something that motivates others. Example: her journey from poverty to success is inspirational. Passionate, having strong feelings about something. Example: he is passionate about protecting the environment. Harmonious, peaceful, and well-balanced. Example: they live in a harmonious community with different cultures. Practice. Try this. Instead of she's good at her job, say she's passionate about her work and truly inspirational. Storytelling exercise. Let's combine these words in a short story. When I visited a diverse and globalized city, I felt nostalgic about my own traditions. The traditional festival I saw was fascinating, and the people were compassionate and respectful. I admired their unity and cultural heritage. Even though I felt a little vulnerable at first, by the end of the trip I was content, inspired, and more open-minded than ever before. Notice how much richer the story sounds compared to simple sentences like, "The city was different." "The people were nice." "I liked it." Quick upgrade challenge basic sentence. The city is different and the people are nice. Upgraded. The city is diverse and the people are compassionate and respectful. Basic sentence. He is good at sports and works hard. Upgraded. He is passionate about sports and resilient in his training. Recap. So let's recap the 18 cultural and emotional words we learned. Compassionate, nostalgic, resilient, diverse, traditional, globalized, empathetic, vulnerable, content, open-minded, respectful, admirable, heritage, unity, identity, inspirational, passionate, and harmonious. If you can use these words naturally, you won't just sound fluent, you'll connect with people more deeply. Because language is more than words. It's emotion, it's culture, and it's identity. Academic and formal vocabulary. When you want to sound educated and professional, your choice of vocabulary matters. Academic and formal words are powerful tools for writing essays, presenting in meetings, or participating in serious discussions. Let's master some of the most important ones. Core academic vocabulary. Analyze. To study something in detail. Example: the professor asked us to analyze the causes of climate change. Evaluate, to judge or assess. Example: the company will evaluate the effectiveness of the new policy. Synthesize, to combine ideas into a new whole. Example: the essay should synthesize information from several sources. Practice. Instead of saying look at carefully, say analyze. Instead of check, say evaluate. Instead of put together, say synthesize. Words for stronger essays. Substantiate. To provide evidence or proof. Our example: the lawyer substantiated his argument with strong evidence. Illustrate. To explain with examples. Example: the teacher illustrated the concept with a real-life story. Emphasize. To highlight or give importance to. Example: the report emphasized the need for renewable energy. Advanced discussion vocabulary. Mitigate. To reduce the severity of something. Example: governments are trying to mitigate the effects of global warming. Facilitate. To make a process easier. Example: the new system facilitates communication between departments. Implement. To put into action. Example: the company implemented new safety measures. Dialogue. Example: A. What did the school do about the problem? B. They implemented new policies to mitigate the issue and facilitate smoother learning. Strong words for arguments 10. Assert. to state firmly and with confidence. Example: the scientist asserted that the results were accurate. Concede, to admit something, often reluctantly. And example: the politician conceded that mistakes were made. Refute, to prove something false. Example: the research refuted the earlier claim. Upgrade challenge: basic, he said he was right. Advanced, he asserted that his conclusion was correct. Formal tone in writing, 13. Consequently, as a result. Example: the team worked late. Consequently, the project was finished early. Moreover, in addition. Example: the plan is effective. Moreover, it saves money. Nevertheless, despite what was said before. Example: the task was difficult. Nevertheless, they succeeded. Practice: replace so with consequently. Replace and also with moreover. Replace but still with nevertheless. Bonus advanced words. Comprehensive, complete, and detailed. As example, the report provides a comprehensive analysis of the issue. Substantial, large in amount or importance. As example, the project required a substantial investment. As, viable, possible, and practical. Example: the committee is searching for a viable solution. Mini-story. Exercise. Let's put this into practice. The researcher analyzed the data and synthesized several studies into one report. He substantiated his claims with evidence and emphasized the importance of the findings. The government implemented new policies to mitigate the problem. Some critics asserted their views, but the research refuted their arguments. Consequently, the project gained substantial support as a viable and comprehensive plan. This story shows how academic words create a formal, professional tone that sounds natural in essays, reports, and presentations. Recap: so, in this section we covered 18 academic and formal words. Analyze, evaluate, synthesize, substantiate, illustrate, emphasize, mitigate, facilitate, implement, assert, concede, refute, consequently, moreover, nevertheless, comprehensive, substantial, and viable. Using these words will make your writing more professional, your arguments stronger, and your speaking more powerful. Academic and formal vocabulary. When you want to sound educated and professional, your choice of vocabulary matters. Academic and formal words are powerful tools for writing essays, giving presentations, or even just speaking in a way that commands respect. Let's upgrade your academic English with some essential vocabulary. Core academic vocabulary. Analyze. To study something in detail. Example: the professor asked us to analyze the causes of climate change. Upgrade. Instead of look at, say analyze. Evaluate. To judge or assess. Example: the manager will evaluate the success of the new project. Synthesize. To combine ideas into a new whole. Example: the essay should synthesize information from several sources into one argument. Practice exercise. Take this simple sentence. She looked at the essay and put the ideas together. Upgrade it. She analyzed the essay and synthesized the ideas. Words for stronger essays. 4. Substantiate. To provide evidence or proof. Example: the lawyer substantiated his argument with statistics and facts. Illustrate. To explain with examples. Example: the teacher illustrated the concept using a story about nature. Emphasize. To highlight or stress importance. Example: the report emphasized the dangers of pollution. Dialogue. Example: A. What did you do in your essay? B. I substantiated my claims with evidence and emphasized the importance of the issue. Advanced discussion vocabulary. Mitigate. to reduce the severity of something. Example: new laws are needed to mitigate the effects of climate change. Facilitate, to make a process easier. Example: the new app facilitates faster communication. Implement, to put into action. Example: the government implemented new safety measures. Upgrade challenge, basic. They made it easier. Advanced, they facilitated the process. Strong words for arguments, 10. Assert, to state firmly with confidence. Example: the scientist asserted that the data was accurate. Some concede, to admit something, often reluctantly. Example: he conceded that his first theory was incorrect. To refute, to prove false. Our example: the study refuted the earlier claim. Dialogue. Example: A. Did he agree with the criticism? B. At first, no. But later he conceded some points while refuting others. Formal tone in writing 13. Consequently, as a result. Example: the experiment failed. Consequently, the project was delayed. Cross. Moreover, in addition. Example: the plan is cost-effective. Moreover, it saves time. Nevertheless, despite what was said before. Example: the challenge was tough. Nevertheless, they succeeded. Practice. Replace so with consequently. Replace and also with moreover. Replace but still with nevertheless. Bonus advanced words. Comprehensive, complete, and detailed. Example: the textbook gives a comprehensive overview of world history. Substantial, large in size, amount, or importance. Example: the company made a substantial profit last year. Teat. Viable, possible, and practical. Example: the committee is looking for a viable solution to the crisis. Storytelling with academic vocabulary. Let's create a mini academic-style story. The researcher analyzed the data carefully and synthesized information from different studies. He substantiated his arguments with strong evidence and emphasized the importance of his findings. The government implemented new rules to mitigate the problem, and technology facilitated faster solutions. Some critics asserted their opinions, but the research refuted their claims. Consequently, the project received substantial support as a comprehensive and viable plan. Notice how formal and powerful this version sounds compared to, he looked at the data, showed some proof, made rules, and people liked it. Recap. So in this section, we covered 18 academic and formal words: analyze, evaluate, synthesize, substantiate, illustrate, emphasize, mitigate, facilitate, implement, assert, concede, refute, consequently, moreover, nevertheless, comprehensive, substantial, and viable. These words will make your essays sharper, your presentations stronger, and your conversations more professional. Creative and descriptive vocabulary. Language is not only for facts, it's also for imagination. When you can use creative and descriptive vocabulary, your writing becomes colorful, and your conversations become more engaging. Let's explore advanced words that bring stories to life. Painting. Pictures with words. Vivid. Clear, detailed, and powerful. Example: she gave a vivid description of her trip to the mountains. Picturesque, beautiful, and charming, like a painting. Example: the village was picturesque, with small cottages and gardens. Evocative, bringing strong memories or feelings. Example: the poem was evocative of childhood summers. Practice exercise. Instead of a clear memory, say a vivid memory. Instead of a nice place, say a picturesque place. Instead of a reminder, say an evocative reminder. Dialogue example A. How was the museum? B. And it was fascinating. The paintings were so vivid. The landscapes were picturesque. And one sculpture was especially evocative. It reminded me of my childhood home. Words for imagination and creativity. Innovative, new, and original. Our example. The company is known for its innovative designs. Wow, imaginative, showing creativity and new ideas. Example. Children are naturally imaginative in their play. Inventive, good at creating or finding solutions. Example, the artist found an inventive way to use recycled materials. Upgrade challenge, replace simple words. Instead of new idea, say innovative idea. Instead of creative game, say imaginative game. Instead of clever solution, say inventive solution. Dialogue example. A. How did the team solve the problem? B. They came up with an inventive approach. It was imaginative and truly innovative. Describing atmosphere 7. Serene, peaceful, and calm. At example, the lake looked serene under the morning sun. Majestic, grand, and impressive. Example. The mountains were majestic, rising high above the clouds. Mysterious, full of secrets or not easily explained. Example. The cave had a dark and mysterious energy. Practice. Use these words in sentences about places you know. For example, the park near my home is serene. The city's old cathedral is majestic. The abandoned house looks mysterious at night. Dialogue. Example. A. How was your holiday? Oh, it was wonderful. The lake was serene, the mountains were majestic, and we even visited a mysterious old castle. Descriptive power for storytelling 10. Intricate, very detailed and complex. Example. The artist painted an intricate design on the vase. Graceful, elegant, and smooth. Our example. The dancer moved in a graceful manner. Radiant, bright, and full of light. Example. Her face was radiant with happiness. Quick practice. Upgrade basic sentences. The building had many details. The building had intricate designs. She moved smoothly. She moved gracefully. He looked very happy. He looked radiant with joy. Dialogue. Example. A. Did you like the performance? B. Yes. The dancer was graceful, the costumes had intricate patterns, and the stage lights made everything radiant. Strong emotional descriptions. 13. Melancholy, a gentle sadness. Our example. The song had a melancholy tone. I. Jubilant, extremely happy, joyful. Example. The crowd was jubilant after the victory. Awe-inspiring, creating feelings of wonder and admiration. Example. The view from the top of the tower was awe-inspiring. Practice challenge? Upgrade these. The music was sad. The music was melancholy. The fans were very happy. The fans were jubilant. The view was great. The view was awe-inspiring. Dialogue. Example. A. How did you feel at the concert? It was amazing. The music was melancholy in some parts, but the ending made the crowd jubilant. And the fireworks afterward were absolutely awe-inspiring. Bonus creative word 16. Enchanting, delightful, magical. Example. The garden looked enchanting under the moonlight. At, exquisite, beautiful and carefully made. An example. She wore an exquisite necklace at the party. Captivating, holding your attention completely. Example. The actor gave a captivating performance. Practice. Instead of really beautiful, say exquisite. Instead of very charming, say enchanting. Instead of interesting, say captivating. Dialogue. Example. A. How was the theater show? B. It was enchanting. The costumes were exquisite, and the lead actor gave a captivating performance. Extended storytelling exercise. Now, let's put all 18 words into a storytelling scene. We arrived at a picturesque village surrounded by majestic mountains. The atmosphere was serene, with radiant sunlight reflecting on the lake. At night, the streets had a mysterious charm, and the scent of flowers was evocative of summer evenings long ago. The festival was enchanting, filled with jubilant people, graceful dancers, and captivating performances. Artists displayed intricate crafts, musicians played innovative songs, and children invented imaginative games. Some works of art were so exquisite that they drew awe-inspiring admiration from the crowd. Though one song carried a touch of melancholy, the overall feeling was radiant joy. By the end of the night, the whole village felt like a vivid dream, alive, colorful, and unforgettable. Notice how much richer the story becomes when descriptive vocabulary is used. Recap. So in this section, we learned 18 creative and descriptive words: vivid, picturesque, evocative, innovative, imaginative, inventive, serene, majestic, mysterious, intricate, graceful, radiant, melancholy, jubilant, awe-inspiring, enchanting, exquisite, and captivating. By practicing these words in your conversations, you will make your English not only correct, but also colorful, artistic, and memorable. Business and professional vocabulary. In professional settings, the words you choose can build your credibility, show confidence, and help you succeed. Let's explore business and professional vocabulary that will give you an advantage in meetings, emails, and negotiations. Words for workplace communication. Collaborate, to work together. Our example, the two companies collaborated on a new product. Delegate, to assign tasks to others. Example, the manager delegated responsibilities to her team. Negotiate, to discuss in order to reach an agreement. Example, they negotiated a better deal with the supplier. Practice, upgrade. They worked together. They collaborated. He gave tasks to others. He delegated tasks. They talked about the price. They negotiated the price. Dialogue. Example, A. How did you finish the project so fast? B. Because we collaborated efficiently. Our manager delegated the right tasks, and we negotiated for faster delivery from the supplier. Words for performance and goals. Productivity, the rate of producing results. An example, the new system increased employee productivity. Efficiency, doing something well with no waste. Example, the machine improved efficiency in production. Initiative, the ability to start things independently. Example, she showed initiative by creating a new marketing plan. Challenge, replace. She started something by herself. With, she showed initiative. Replace, the team worked faster. With, the team improved productivity and efficiency. Dialogue example. A. Why was Sarah promoted? B. Because she showed initiative, improved the team's productivity, and increased efficiency in our workflow. Words for problem solving. Optimize, to make the best or most effective use of something. An example, we need to optimize our use of resources. Streamline, to make a process simpler and faster. Example, the company streamlined its hiring process. Resolve, to solve or settle a problem. Example, the manager resolved the conflict quickly. Quick upgrade, we made it better. We optimized it. We made it easier. We streamlined it. We fixed the problem. We resolved the issue. Dialogue. Example. A. What's your plan for the system? B. First, we'll optimize the database. Then, we'll streamline the user interface. Finally, we'll resolve any technical bugs. Words for professional success. Competence. The ability to do something successfully. Example. Her competence in project management impressed the team. Leadership. The ability to guide and inspire others. Our example. Strong leadership is essential for company growth. Accountability. Responsibility for actions. Example. Every employee must take accountability for their work. Dialogue. Example. A. What qualities are most important in a manager? B. Competence, leadership, and accountability. Without these, teams don't function well. Words for business growth. Revenue, the income a business earns. Our example. The company's revenue increased by 20%. Investment, money or time put into something for future profit. Example. They made a large investment in new technology, kind expansion, growth into new markets or areas. Example. The company plans international expansion next year. Challenge. They made money. They increased their revenue. They put money into it. They made an investment. The company is growing. The company is expanding. Dialogue. Example. A. Why is the company hiring more employees? B. Because revenue is increasing, investments are paying off, and expansion into new markets requires a larger team. Bonus professional words. Angst. Synergy. The extra benefit when people work together effectively. Example. The merger created strong synergy between the two firms. AR. Benchmark. A standard to measure performance. Das example. We used last year's results as a benchmark. Der. Sustainability. Long-term balance without waste or harm. Example. The company focuses on sustainability in production. Dialogue. Example. A. What's the secret to long-term success? B. Creating synergy between teams, setting clear benchmarks, and focusing on sustainability. Extended business scenario. Now, let's put these words into action. The manager collaborated with her team and delegated tasks strategically. Together, they negotiated a better deal with a supplier, which increased efficiency. Their new system optimized resources, streamlined communication, and resolved problems faster. Employees showed initiative, which improved productivity significantly. Her competence and leadership earned respect, and her accountability inspired trust. As a result, the company's revenue grew steadily. They made smart investments in technology and planned expansion into international markets. The synergy within the team set a benchmark for the entire industry, and their focus on sustainability guaranteed future growth. Notice how professional this sounds compared to, they worked together, fixed some problems, and the company grew. Recap. So in this section, we learned 18 business and professional words: collaborate, delegate, negotiate, productivity, efficiency, initiative, optimize, streamline, resolve, competence, leadership, accountability, revenue, investment, expansion, synergy, benchmark, and sustainability. If you can practice these words in meetings, presentations, and business writing, you'll sound confident, capable, and professional. You've now completed the Advanced English Vocabulary Masterclass. Over the past lessons, we covered a powerful collection of advanced words that can transform your English. Quick recap by category section 1. Power words for daily use. Elevate. Crucial, versatile, thrive, hinder, pursue, adapt. enhance, deliberate, transform, meticulous, inevitable, resilient, catalyst, proficient, significant, foster, articulate. Section 2. Emotional vocabulary. Elated, nostalgic, empathetic, apprehensive, indifferent, compassionate, overwhelmed, frustrated, grateful, content, devastated, intrigued, relieved, sentimental, anxious, optimistic, cynical, passionate. Section 3. Persuasive and impactful vocabulary. Compelling, assertive, influential, persuasive, credible, authentic, strategic, impactful, convincing, authoritative, dynamic, rational, bold, inspiring, consistent, adaptable, diplomatic, visionary. Section 4. Professional and workplace vocabulary. Proactive, efficient, collaborative, reliable, resourceful, innovative, ambitious, diligent, competent, versatile, analytical, strategic, resilient, dependable, persuasive, meticulous, adaptable, inspiring. Section 5. Everyday conversation vocabulary. Literally, basically, technically, genuinely, apparently, absolutely, definitely, probably, hopefully, obviously, surprisingly, ridiculously, seriously, honestly, definitely, generally, relatively, casually. Section 6. Cultural and emotional vocabulary. Heritage, tradition, diversity, community, belonging, harmony, compassion, identity, perspective, unity, customs, empathy, ritual, tolerance, symbolism, authenticity, coexistence, legacy. Section 7. Academic and formal vocabulary. Analyze, evaluate, synthesize, substantiate, illustrate, emphasize, mitigate, facilitate, implement, assert, concede, refute. Consequently, moreover, nevertheless, comprehensive, substantial, viable. Section 8. Creative and descriptive vocabulary. Vivid, picturesque, evocative, innovative, imaginative, inventive, serene, majestic, mysterious, intricate, graceful, radiant, melancholy, jubilant, awe-inspiring, enchanting, exquisite, captivating. Section 9. Business and professional vocabulary. Collaborate, delegate, negotiate, productivity, efficiency, initiative, optimize, streamline, resolve. Competence, leadership, accountability, revenue, investment, expansion, synergy, benchmark, sustainability. That's 162 advanced English words. Practice exercise 1. Upgrade sentences. Take these basic sentences and rewrite them using advanced vocabulary. The project was very good. The project was a significant success and showed innovative ideas. She felt sad, but then happy. She was melancholy at first, but later she felt elated. The company made money and grew bigger. The company increased its revenue and expanded into new markets. Practice exercise 2. Mini dialogue upgrade. Dialogue A basic. A. How was the speech? B. It was good and people liked it. Dialogue B advanced. A. How was the speech? It was compelling and persuasive. The speaker articulated ideas clearly and the audience was captivated. Practice exercise 3. Storytelling challenge. Try telling a story using at least 5 words from one section. Example. Last year, I visited a picturesque village surrounded by majestic mountains. The people were jubilant during the festival, and the music created an evocative atmosphere. Everything felt enchanting and unforgettable. This uses words from the creative and descriptive vocabulary section. Practice exercise 4. Speaking prompts. Here are some prompts to practice aloud. Describe your best friend using at least 5 emotional vocabulary words. Talk about your workplace or school using 5 professional vocabulary words. Tell a short travel story using 5 creative vocabulary words. Explain a problem and solution using 5 academic or business vocabulary words. Final motivation. Remember, vocabulary is not just about memorization, it's about active use. The more you practice these words in writing, speaking, and conversations, the faster they will become natural for you. You now have the tools to sound more professional at work, speak more confidently in social conversations, write stronger essays and presentations, tell stories that are vivid, emotional, and powerful. Conclusion and CTA. This was the Advanced English Vocabulary Masterclass, and you.